I'm going to say hello.
Hello.
This is Mariam Asad, PhD.
That's true.
Wow.
Very recent PhD.
How's that?
It's the crisis has taken on a slightly different form, but it's mostly chill. Actually, I would say it's mostly chill.
Do you find that you're using the PhD all the time in your day-to-day life? Or
As soon as I wake up.
Are you like you're like at the grocery store and you got your mask on? You're like, excuse me, let me get through.
Doctor coming through.
Yeah, exactly. I have things to do. I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. Excuse
Y'all
me.
need to talk about bell hooks and Peter Kropotkin right now, because guess what?
Is Kropotkin the one who's coming up all the time for you? Or you're like, oh god.
They come in different cycles.
Am I right?
It's just different cycles. Yeah, bread's always kind of a low key, always in. Oh, I remember this mansion.
Yeah, you're gonna be seeing probably a little choppiness here.
Oh yeah,
it's like rendered weird, but that's just the appropriate Vice City experience. This is episode 4, by the way, of the Vice City Let's Play. If you're watching this, you probably already know that. But yeah, Mariam, tell me about your relationship to Vice City. What do you got?
my experience of Vice City is, it's a CD with no printing on it, but a black Sharpie, and it just says the name of a childhood friend, because he's the one who burned the CD for me for my overseas PlayStation that I had to play with the lid open. Do you need me to elaborate on any of that?
Is that related to it
being super
from
related.
Overseas? Or, okay.
Yeah, so I got my PlayStation from overseas as a present.
Where is overseas? That could be anywhere.
If I remember right, my dad's brother in Kuwait.
A Kuwaiti PlayStation.
A Kuwaiti PlayStation. So
that is such a specific. So was it PAL? I guess I don't know the Middle East. I don't know like what.
Listen, I don't have answers to these questions. I've had two different consoles from Kuwait. It's unclear if they were in the United States at some point, or maybe they came from Canada and then they went to Kuwait and then they came back. I just know these systems came from Kuwait and they all had different. You had to be very particular with each of them to run any kind of game.
Okay, and so this one, the particularity was, I have to play it with the top oven. Just really briefly, in the spirit of this being a Let's Play.
Yes.
Ostensibly.
I said some words that were on the screen. Prawn Island.
Yeah. So so this is I'm with Lance Vance. You remember Lance Vance from this game? He's
Vaguely.
kind of a Tubbs and Crockett duo right now, and there's some drug dealers, and they own these like estates here, and so we're doing like what every gangster did in the 1980s, and we are going there to attack them with a helicopter.
This I remember. I definitely remember this part. I feel like I was mostly airborne in Vice City. Is there a jetpack in this one?
No, that's San Andreas. Where there's a jetpack.
I didn't do any missions in any Grand Theft Auto. I've done a couple missions in GTA 4, but my experience with Grand Theft Auto is play the first mission, get incredibly bored, or turned off, or just like distracted, and then start hijacking cars and just kind of like putzing around.
So you have no idea what these games are like about.
I mean, I get the gist. It's, kind of what we're doing right now. There's maybe some cutscenes.
Some like crimey-wimey stuff.
Some crimey stuff, some delivering pizzas, some killing sex workers, some boat jackings.
We're going to see some boat jacking later.
Oh, great. Okay.
In this very episode.
That is this the one where you have cinematic camera angles?
You can, yeah. You can like, hit the button to do that. I think Grand Theft Auto 3 had that too. But it's like really difficult to do anything that way. So.
Oh, absolutely. Which I wasn't really doing anything important anyway. So
sure,
I was using that cinematic angle often.
So in these kinds of missions where it's like basically a turret section, I guess. if you play them on the original PlayStation, I know you didn't, but if you did, you
if one did.
The figurative Grand Theft Auto PlayStation 2 player. It was hard as shit because controlling this little reticle thing with
impossible.
Impossible. Absolutely
completely
impossible. And in fact, still impossible in the year of our Lord 2020. You are seeing me right now.
You're doing great, by the way.
Well, here's how.
One
I'm
is
using a
doing
mouse.
great.
I'm using a mouse for this part.
Oh.
I have when I recorded this video, I just put the controller down and started using my mouse and allowed the mouse to do it because I'm playing the PlayStation or the PC version, which is
right.
like a weird port of this game. And there's like all kinds of broken stuff. I'll talk about in a bit some like other things that broke about it. People who've been watching Let's Play already know I've had some issues with the game in a general sense. But yeah, back to your PlayStation you gotta play with
the lid open. So that was
with the lid up, yeah.
That was one of the 3 criteria that was necessary in order to play a game. Mm-hmm. So the first is have the lid open. The second is have a thing plugged into the very back, kind of like a Game Shark. Not a Game Shark, but like one. Somewhat peripheral. And then to have a tiny coiled spring that I put into a little circle bit on the inside that pushes it down, and then you can start to play a game.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't know the names of the parts of whatever little circle thing I was pushing down. You could do it like with your finger, but then you'd have to have your finger in it the whole time.
Yeah, so you had like a weird hacked pirate PlayStation from Kuwait. Is what you're telling
Kuwaiti
me.
PlayStation, correct.
Mm-hmm. I like by calling it a Kuwaiti PlayStation, it implies that all PlayStations from Kuwait function this way.
There's maybe 1 or 2 people who have the very same weird niche PlayStation experience that I have, and they're super stoked. They know what I'm talking about.
What was the other console you had from Kuwait?
PS2.
Was it a similar deal?
I did not have to leave that one open. That one, all the magic was on the inside. But for both of them, it just meant that I could play games that I burned on my computer.
That's the key part. I had a friend when I was like in probably middle school, who had a PlayStation where he just like went to Blockbuster and pirated, like burned every single game there.
Yeah.
So we played like the Dragon Tales video game.
I mean, before I had consoles, my gaming experience were with those freeware, like 4,000 games on one CD kind of deals.
Those were good, yeah.
Ooh, they were good. But they also spoiled me, because I thought one CD just had like 900 hours of entertainment. And so when I got a PlayStation and I got, not a game, but I got a demo CD from the official PlayStation magazine, and I put it in, I was like, hold on, I play for 30 seconds? That's it? And thus I was introduced to video games, I guess.
Jeez. You just didn't understand. You didn't know.
Kids all around the world were just playing one video game at a time.
I love those demo disc things. Or not demo disc, but like those basically
samplers.
I mean, what's weird about those samplers, right? Is we know. Oh, by the way, we have a mission here to go and steal the fastest boat. By the way,
yes.
But
do you have the fastest car to get to the fastest boat?
No, this is just like a simple car. This is a normal car.
A starter.
It looks cool, but yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No. Now, looking back, those big multi-pack CDs, that was just like some industrious, like, jerk, right? Like, going on, like, Usenet boards or whatever and downloading every freeware game and shareware game and just putting them on one CD and then selling it at, like, Walmart or whatever.
You say jerk, I say archivist. I mean, I got to experience a bunch of games from, like, different eras all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I'm in no way complaining about the end product, right? Which I appreciated and enjoyed. But, if you did that now, it'd be a different vibe.
It'd be a very different vibe.
If I were like, hey, check out my 1,000 games USB drive. Yeah, sure, they all come from different itch.io pages. Is that weird or what? I don't know. They were free. Why can't I freely sell them to you?
That's true.
You're gonna get to see me die here in just a second. I died a bunch of times doing this mission. You're just here doing Grand Theft Auto stuff.
Do you have any cheat codes for this?
I'm not playing with any cheat codes. Currently.
Is that what's the stigma? What's the status on cheat codes in the scene?
In 2020?
What is the discourse?
What do the gamers think of? I mean, there aren't really cheat codes anymore. That's the bummer. I think I would use cheat codes way more, or at least play games with them or whatever. But I'm speeding up time here so you can see me fail this mission one more time. But it's not like God of War is coming out and it's got those kicking rad cheat codes to get infinite throwing axes or whatever.
Yeah.
For the Let's Play, I tend not to use cheat codes just because it's here's how you would actually do it if you were doing it the real way. Although I guess what you're saying is if you did it the real way, it would be with cheat codes.
Correct.
I don't have any many times so I try to use my vehicle as a weapon.
I noticed. Much more efficient.
What was I...
Sorry, while you're distracted, the only thing worse than shooting with a reticle is shooting with a reticle on a motorcycle, which just, that's not how time and space works in my head. Just zero hit rate on that. It's a real union busting kind of move here, Cameron.
I know. I don't think Tommy Vercetti cares about that.
You know who also doesn't care about that, disappointingly, is we've been listening to a lot of Roger Miller. And there's that one hit song where he says he ain't pay no union dues.
Who's Roger Miller?
Roger Miller is, I recently learned the rooster in the Disney Robin Hood.
Little John and da-da-da walk through the forest. That whole thing?
But the rooster.
Chanticleer the rooster? Isn't that his name?
Does he have a name? I thought he was
I think his name is Chanticleer.
That's a
famous medieval rooster.
I'm not. Medieval is not part of my lexicon. I did not take those classes in my undergrad.
This is my culture, is having to know about famous roosters.
It's true.
The screen keeps going black here, by the way, and I think I'll probably edit this out. But screen keeps going black because I keep using my mouse to accidentally click off the screen, which breaks everything. But yeah, so I got the world's fastest boat, and you'll notice here. Oh, actually, it keeps going black here because I'm navigating to the map because I don't know where I am. But you'll notice that this world's fastest boat is going pretty slow.
I did notice.
It's not a very fast boat. I figured out why in just a bit, but I'll wait until we get to that point to do it. I do like this rain and storm though. I think this looks pretty cool.
Is the boat supposed to be sinking that much?
Do you think it's a little bit weird that the water texture goes above his head sometimes?
Boats historically tend to have one purpose, and it's keeping the water out.
Talk me through this.
But the green here is obviously the water.
Okay.
I was just quoting Arrested Development, which I've been revisiting recently.
Arrested Development, a true joy up until season 3, and then everything after is pretty rough.
It's not an entire joy in the year 2020, but it's still mostly a joy. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's great parts, and also truly deeply offensive.
Ooh,
parts.
Yeah, just real my butthole is up inside itself parts. Just kind of need to pause and take a breather parts.
Yeah, we've tried to do a rewatch.
Oh man,
several times. And we can do the first 2 seasons, and then after that, it's everyone's love of Charlize Theron tends to forget her role in the 3rd season of Arrested Development.
Yeah, someone keeps scrubbing that from her IMDb page. It's really weird.
Oof. But you know what? So I watched the other day, Mariam. I watched Goodfellas.
The movie.
Correct. No, the audio drama.
The audiobook.
Yeah. Have you seen Goodfellas before?
I have.
What's your take?
I mean, I liked it, but I was a very different kind of person at the time. You know, a kind of internalized misogyny, like, I'm just one of the guys, you know, very proto Mariam, very like beta version Mariam. And so I liked it then, and in recent versions of myself, I've not revisited it, and I will say I'm okay with that. I think there are other movies to watch instead of watching Goodfellas again.
There are. It's true.
Including the pigeons who emulate the Goodfellas on Animaniacs.
Wait. I just remember. Or it's like it's not Goodfellas, right? It's I guess it is.
Good Pigeons.
Partially Goodfellas and partially
Good Pigeons?
The Godfather, right?
Yeah, it's all of them. It's all.
Yeah, I guess it's just all.
It's all of them.
Crime stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them is The Godfather, and one of them is Joe Pesci specifically in Goodfellas in that one scene, and then the other one is, I don't know, just like the straight man, maybe.
Funny how? Funny how? Tell me how I'm funny.
Oh, you think I'm a clown? Oh, you think I'm a crow? Yeah, it's just, oh, it's gonna be hell shooting on this thing. You're gonna go so fast.
I'm not gonna. Well, so here's the thing. I'm not really gonna go that fast.
I see the light taps.
Yeah, which is interesting. We're gonna find out why I can't like turn very well. You'll notice I'm having a really hard time turning in all vehicles.
Do you just keep stealing broken vehicles?
No, and it's this is a technical error that I will explain in just a moment.
Such sturdy infrastructure in Vice City.
But yeah, because you know these games, it's interesting that they kind of. Oh, I dropped something. Okay, now I'm back. These games are always like based around like all these crime. Standards and things like that. I mean, Tommy Vercetti is literally voiced by Ray Liotta.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I just wonder, like, I've been revisiting some crime stuff recently. I watched Goodfellas, watched Mystic River. Oh, dang. Busted.
Woof. ACAB, am I right?
The Miami-Dade Police Department, specifically. But yeah, I've been watching a lot. I mean, do you have a favorite? You have a favorite crime movie?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Do you have a favorite crime thing? Like a film?
Not really. Like those crime films I really associate with earlier past versions of me, so I kind of just prefer my weird, inconsistent memory of them. Goodfellas, I feel like there's a lot of like race stuff that makes it hard to sit through. Where I'm like, you know what? I get the Joe Pesci references. That's enough. What?
Yeah, the race stuff in Goodfellas is particularly interesting because it serves no purpose. Like it's not as if if these people have an existence, right, that's kind of like defined in relationship to like their racial identity or their ethnic identity, vis-a-vis someone else's. It might make more sense if that came up a lot, but it really just comes up in like one or two scenes, and it's real rough.
It's so woof. Yeah. Speaking of unnecessary race stuff, we've been watching partially on accident and partially on purpose, just some like 80s and 90s British stuff. And there's a lot
of blackface.
There's a lot of, I mean, in addition to, like, we're watching The Young Ones. Have you seen that? It's like a punk sitcom. It's like 4 different, like, punk archetypes. They all live in a house. And there's one episode where they're just dropping N-bombs, just with a hard R, and it was very, like, me and Dan just started yelling. We're like, whoa, it's really just like getting slapped in the face, and you're like, I was just here for dunking on punks.
Yeah, it was like very a-okay to like do blackface into the 1990s in the UK, so I'm not surprised to hear any of this.
There's what's that one movie where Orson Welles is in blackface? Is it Macbeth?
All of them.
I'm not well versed with Orson Welles, obviously.
I don't know where he did. Obviously it's not all of them. I don't know where he did blackface. But I'm not surprised that he did it. I mean, he became famous, partially right, for doing
For being the Orson Welles of video games.
For being responsible. For me, he made Space War! Exclamation point. But no, he became famous for doing the I forget which play, but doing a race flipped version of a Shakespeare play, and that's partially at the Mercury Theater, and that's partially how he became like Orson Welles.
Well, that's what the Wayans brothers did in the early 2000s, but we don't call a video game the Wayans brothers of video games.
Well, in that case, it'd be the White Chicks of video games.
Right. No, you're right.
I mean, God of War is, of course, the White Chicks of video games. I do agree with that. Yeah, that's true. So you'll notice here I'm in the world's fastest boat, and I'm racing these people up here to a somewhere we're supposed to be going, and I'm going approximately Playmobil miles per hour.
It took me a second because I was like, what people? Who are you racing? But exactly. I see them
those dots you see?
Yes, Yeah. The fuzziness around.
I'm supposed to be neck and neck with you. This is supposed to be like a race. And so somewhere about right here, I realized something was going on wrong with the way my computer is running Vice City. And I found out. So previously, right, I'd been running it on an uncapped frame rate, and I was getting like 300 frames per second or something.
All of them. The whole game crammed into one frame.
The maximum number. And so I thought, the game internally, like in the graphics settings, it has a frame limiter that allows you to say, hey, just run this thing at 30 frames per second. And I was having a little bit of an issue with video recording beforehand. You can see I've decided for some reason to get into this boat over here. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. That's the gamer spirit right there.
My heart leaped in my chest with like sympathy.
Good. That's how. That's what they call. That's
affect.
Exactly. That's the Brian Masumi. Eat your heart out. But so I was like, okay, I'll put the frame limiter on. I did this like several episodes ago. I put the frame limiter on in order
nice
to
crossfade.
Oh yeah, that's artistry. But in order to like make my video capture like easier and less screen tearing and things like that, lo and behold, the frame limiter just makes you go real slow. It's something about like the clock speed of like
it slows your clock, not the clock in the game.
Yes, it slows everything down.
Weird.
And so so this is me. Now you're watching footage of me absolutely smoking these people because I turned the frame limiter off.
Oh yeah.
So
this brings me back to that wet ride at Six Flags in Georgia. Mm-hmm. The one that gives you whiplash and people pay money to...
The wet ride?
The one where you get wet. You sit in a big tube and there's seats, and you go down a river and people pay money to shoot water at you.
What?
It's not the plantation one. It's not the racist one. There's one that's just like a river and you...
I mean, I've been to Six Flags one time.
Well...
I've been to Six Flags once, and it was when I was in like the 5th grade. Because I don't like roller coasters.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so that's not the place to be.
Yeah, it's not the place to go.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do.
Mm-mm. I mean, I guess I could eat like cotton candy.
No, well, I guess you could. If you like being sweaty.
Yeah, if you like being real sweaty. We have a mutual friend. I'm not gonna blow him up here, but we have a mutual friend who worked at Six Flags as a teenager.
It's true.
Some amazing stories to tell about it.
I may text them just to relive some of those memories.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Good shooting.
I'm once again back to using a mouse in order to navigate this. Lance Vance, my good friend, is the AI who is controlling this, and he's really just zipping us through this thing over here. Well, what other pirated games did you play on your PlayStation?
I played a lot.
Wait, this was on the PlayStation. We were talking about the PlayStation the whole time, but this was the PlayStation 2 video game.
It was, yeah. Sorry, my memory just jumps back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have said something. I didn't remember until right now.
What else was I playing? I played a lot of the training for Tomb Raider 3, that like secret course in her house.
Uh-huh.
I would just like try to beat my own personal records.
Okay.
So I have not played Tomb Raider 3, but played a lot of that training.
Mm-hmm.
What other pirated games? I think most of my pirate game play hours were with my DS, playing a lot of Harvest Moon.
You had a pirated DS too?
Well, I did not have the pirated DS, but I had the little cart that goes in, and you can put the micro SD card. Playing a lot of Harvest Moon, the gay one, where you move in with your girlfriend.
Sure.
Just to be clear, I know there are different Harvest Moons.
But that's the one you care about.
That was the one that I wanted, yeah.
So how many legitimate consoles have you owned in your lifetime?
Okay, I have... Do handhelds count? I've purged any kind of game vocabulary from my brain. So, okay. Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. The DS itself is legit. The cartridge is questionable. My Wii, my PS3, I think my 360. That's about a 1-to-1 legit to not legit ratio.
I just want to make sure that you're putting money in the coffers of big
yeah,
video game. That's an important.
I'm keeping my seed rate high. I'm keeping an eye out for my karma. Don't worry. Wow, that tree just exploded, or your car exploded. Yeah, I forget.
I think both. This is a both and.
Do you remember the Year of Luigi calendar I made once?
Yeah.
I still think of that every once in a while. I feel like the zeitgeist is right for me to bring a Year of Luigi horoscope calendar into the world.
Dang. You gotta do it. I wonder what year we're in. I need to look at the Luigi long count calendar.
Yeah, I need to find the calendar, which is hopefully
I've got it. I've got a copy of it.
Just accessible?
Yeah. Probably.
Great.
Like not this very second, but it will not take me long to find it.
If I were a betting man, I would say we are in the year of Ditto. It feels like a year of Ditto.
Did I ever tell you that the Year Luigi or the Nintendo long count calendar existed, right? And we were posting about it quite often. You for a number of years were making year of whatever Twitter accounts for the thing, because we went through the Year of Luigi and the Year of Ness and then the Year of something else.
Oh yeah, it was the Year of Ness.
But I got feedback on that. Not feedback, but someone tweeted at me, or maybe made a blog post. I don't remember how I saw it. Someone might have just sent it to me, actually. I don't remember how I saw it. But someone was just incredibly angry that we had didn't know how to read the Mayan long count calendar.
Oh no!
And it was just like, the joke is not about the Mayan long count calendar.
Yeah, that's not the punchline.
It is about the fixation of 2012 and the notion of a bad misreadings of calendars.
Well, I apologize for stressing someone out, but yes, it was. Was it 2012? Is that when it started? That was the Year of Luigi?
Yeah. The Year of Luigi, I think, was 2013.
Oh, we've fallen so far. I think maybe there's a Year of Birdo on the calendar.
Yeah, there is a Year of Birdo on the calendar.
Maybe we're in the Year of Birdo right now.
I mean, everyone was on the calendar. There's a Year of Donkey Kong coming up.
Ooh.
This, for people who care, so this is a real estate mogul we've been doing some quests for. There is this guy here. This game is a prequel, of course, to Grand Theft Auto 3, and his little buddy here.
The coyote in the chicken coop. How do you feel about that Southern representation, Cameron?
Well, you know what? That's the most important thing in my life. Making sure the South is accurately represented. And this cartoon Texas oil man is accurate enough, I guess.
Bolo tie, etc.
Yeah. I've thought about buying a bolo tie, but I've been vetoed every time. It's coming back.
I think it's been back, and it's gone, and it's...
Yeah, which means it's gonna come back.
But we're not there yet, I don't think. I think, you just missed your moment.
Well, I'll wait 7 years. That's fine.
Right, exactly. I'm going to make a Year of Luigi, and then I'm going to make a Year of Hebdige, which just traces whatever cultural decade we're in.
And you don't want to call that the year of dick.
Nope.
You're gonna leave that on. You're gonna leave that on the table.
That URL is gonna be very expensive, and whoever owns it, they can just keep it. I don't want that one on my credit card bills.
So this mission has us going to a I believe a Haitian funeral, dressed as a Cuban.
Okay.
Dressing as a Cuban in this video game just means wearing a headband and wearing a cut-off T-shirt and some jeans. I mean, this is a very 2020 outfit.
It sure is.
Right, headband, like tight shirt, like nice acid wash jeans. People will be wearing that. But anyway, we got to go. Basically, we're framing the Cubans here. We're starting a gang war, which is the same thing that younger guy who was in the limo just a second ago, Donald Love, it's the same thing he makes us do in Grand Theft Auto 3. So we're seeing how history works, Mariam.
Is it also with Cubans and Haitians in Grand Theft Auto 3?
I don't think it's Cubans and Haitians. I don't remember who it is. But it's Yardies and someone else.
It's, oh boy. I mean, just what little I know of like anti-imperialism and U.S. interventionism on a global scale, the choice of Haitians and Cubans to start a war is, it's a yikes, I think. I think it's a pretty
so
big...
I died that time, but you know what? It's going to get a yikes from me as well. It's two yikes, way up.
Yeah, it's not a subtle yikes.
Well, this is like, fake Miami. So I mean, those are two big, ethnic groups. Look at that! Woo! Look at that vehicle running right over me there. So we are chasing down. We got to kill this Haitian gang lord, and he is in a hearse.
A voodoo car?
No, it's a hearse. Because this is a funeral that poops out caskets that explode. Okay.
Yeah, I did see one kind of like bloop out, and I wasn't. I was like, did I see that again, or am I not paying attention?
No, you're gonna see about.
But there's another one. Cool.
Because I have a hard time doing this mission. Speaking of fashion, just looping back around, here's something I've been thinking about. At the end of the immediate crisis of coronavirus, what's our fashion going to look like?
Oh boy.
You know what I mean? No one's out there experimenting on fashion. What's going to happen? We're just going to go back to 2019?
No, I think people are still experimenting with fashion.
What are they doing?
I feel like there's a lot of cobbling. We're kind of like in a cobbling era of fashion where it's whatever is in your closet and whatever is in your parents' closet if you had to go stay with your folks again. But I feel like the time gap for a lot of folks in our generation is just the right amount where it's like, oh great, these are all in style again. So I think I think we're right on track, actually. I think, like, I saw some bell-bottom jeans. I'm like, oh, cool, great. I remember.
Great. I think I'm good. Hard pass on those, I think. Some real high-waisted pants on men.
Yeah, no, I'm still at, like, sweatshirt and tights. I feel like me and Kelly are sort of kindred spirits, kindred folks, kindred personas with our wardrobes, because it's just like loose tops and tights and shoes. Cozy core.
The Ariana Grande look.
Yeah, the Ariana Grande look, exactly. Which,
timeless.
A classic. Just saw some... Did you hear about this white lady who got killed by a spirit?
I'm sorry, now what? A spirit?
She was like messing with voodoo, and everyone was like, mm-mm. And then she died mysteriously in her bathtub.
Do you believe that the Aloha got her? Is that what you're implying?
I don't know. I do not know enough about any of these traditions. But
you're not ruling it out, is what you're telling me.
I'm not ruling it out. I'm not going anywhere near it. It's,
you're just informing people to let them know what happened, but you don't want to research it anymore.
It is
to give them any more information.
Correct.
Huh.
I'm not going anywhere near it.
I didn't hear that. I hear a lot about, I see a lot of chatter on the internet about horoscopes. I see a lot of chatter about, I see quite a lot of witchcraft talk. But I don't really deal with any of that. That's not me, you know?
I think that's fair. Except the Year of Luigi, which...
But it means nothing. You know, it's not like, I don't think that means that, like,
It's not your guiding framework that
No,
informs every
like-
decision you make on a daily basis?
Exactly. I don't think that like brothers are cursed during that year. Or anything.
Gotcha.
Although that would be good, and I guess determine. I think you're right. I think you do need to create the Nintendo horoscope because it would be fun coming up with like, oh yeah, you're a Princess Peach.
Which would probably be a Pisces, maybe. Mountain
You get
climbers
kidnapped all the time.
are going to be a Gemini.
Wait,
Huh?
yeah, ice climbers have got to be
Gemini.
Pisces, right?
No,
Or they got to
Gemini.
be Gemini. Well, Pisces, there's two of them though, right? It's two fish too.
Yeah, but I think it's more the fish than it is the two-ness. The Gemini is like super the two-ness.
Yeah, it's the twins. Mm-hmm. I know all about it from Final Fantasy IX, of course. All
The
of my
best Final
knowledge
Fantasy.
all of my knowledge of the astrology comes from, or the zodiac comes from Final Fantasy IX, an educational
man.
text.
I have spent so many hours chocobo hunting in Final Fantasy IX. Just
It's,
maybe calendar years of my life.
Yeah, it's evil. Like they really like Choco whatever it is.
Yeah. Choco
that
hot
where you
and
got-
cold.
Yeah, Choco Hot and Cold. Chocobo Hot and Cold. That shit is just like brutal. The most recent, whenever the PlayStation 4 Final Fantasy 9 came out, and I got real into that. I like played through that game again, and I was like, seriously, 5 or 6 hours into Chocobo Hot and Cold, and I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? What
I've
is
been here
happening to me?
before.
I have been. I've been exactly this place.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to fight Ozma. I don't need to do this.
I've been through that. Yeah, I can purge that from my life. Ooh, nice skid turn.
That's what happens when you can go fast.
Yeah.
So we did that quest. We did the gang lord stuff. We basically or gang war, and then we got a little call from I think a Cuban guy, and he's going to give us some quests in a bit.
Is this?
But
Is that this guy? Cravat
no,
guy?
this guy is just like a rich. He's like a coke lord. His name's Cortez, and he's been kind of stringing us along a little bit.
So the
But,
cravat is for richness, not for any kind of cultural identity.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Although he is kind of wearing that kind of, Central American military gear.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
So what do we
kind of
have?
thing.
What mission is this now?
There is a piece of military hardware being taken through the city.
Is this the tank mission?
This is the tank mission.
Oh my god. This is exciting.
It is. So I actually failed this like multiple times.
Oh,
and so
yeah. I don't know if
have-
I passed this one. I may have legit stopped at the tank mission. I think this
well,
is
did-
the extent
so-
of my Vice City expertise.
So I tried many different methods that are not included here because it just takes too long to watch and is not interesting. But one solution was just drive up and see if I can get in it. That didn't work. Another one was like drive by real fast and like
Bail.
like hit everybody on my way by. But there are people in the back of a truck and they will shoot you if you do that. And you can't hit them
thought
on the
of
car 'cause they're in the back of
everything.
a truck. Yeah. So my solution is an interesting one. One that I found on the internet that I didn't know about.
You go on
So-
GameFAQs.com?
I did not go to GameFAQs.
Well, how'd you
I think I
find
just
out?
Googled Vice City tank mission. Although I should have gone. So I could go see that ASCII art of like the Vice City logo.
It's all still up there.
Were you a big GameFAQs.com user?
I would say the games where I didn't have cheat codes, I was just like having someone, usually a cousin, recite on GameFAQs, or I would be reciting to them because I just like want to get to the fun parts.
Well, my cousin and I sometimes would play during like the PlayStation 1 era. We would play some video games, and then we'd get stuck, and because we were young, we would get stuck and like we wouldn't know what to do, and so we didn't have internet where we were playing, and so what we would do, our solution to this, but we knew GameFAQs existed, right? So sometimes we would have it printed out, and that was helpful.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
That was like shout out to everyone making plain text files. But
Truly.
when we didn't have access to that, and like we'd rented a game or something, what we would do is we would call his mom on the phone and say, go to gamefaqs.com, pull it up, hang up the internet, right? Because this is a 56K modem. Get off the internet, get back on the phone, and then read it to us. And she would diligently do that every now and again.
That is what true love looks like. That's a very detonation. That's very generous.
My strategy here is if you follow them long enough, like I just did, they will stop for donuts, and you can run and get in the tank while they're getting donuts.
And the internet told you to wait for that point.
Yeah, it said this is the best way to do it.
Vice City in my brain, like in my timeline of my life, is at such a weird fuzzy point because I had like not a smartphone, had the internet, was still using phones to like call into radio stations, using GameFAQs.com. This is very like weird cusp of online offline. That makes it hard to temporally keep track of. Like everything else, I was like, oh, that's my DS years. Oh, that's my, PS3 years. But this one it's too many technologies all at once. It gets kind of confuddled.
Yeah, the PlayStation 2 era is a big, because this is like, I mean, here's the question for you. Do you think you played Vice City before or after you saw The Matrix?
Oh, boy.
Right? It's at that like kind of cusp time at the end of the 90s, early 2000s where you're like, well, I don't know, all kinds of stuff happened at one time. Because this is like 2003, I think.
2003.
2002, 2003, yeah.
We were just watching something from 2003, and I remember being similarly I was like, no way, this is 2003. But I kind of just...
Underworld is 2003.
Kevin Costner's Underworld? No, that's Waterworld. What's Underworld?
The vampires and werewolves
right.
movie.
And yeah, I didn't see that one.
Oh, really? That's an opportunity lost.
There's still time.
Like
the next time
I Mariam in 2003 movie.
Oh no, you're right. I can leave that one. But I maybe saw it. I already saw it. It was implied.
Yeah. The implied viewership.
What year did we meet, Cameron? Was it 2011, 2012? Is this boring? Is this really terrible Let's Play discussion fodder?
No, I mean, we've only got like 2 minutes more to go. So.
Okay, we'll get some quick lore in.
Yeah, probably 2011, 2012. We probably met in person 2012.
You're one of the few people where I remember meeting you for the first time because it was at that party house. We lived across the street from each other on accident. It was fun.
That's true. That was a wild party. It's been interesting to see where all the other people who were at that party, who I didn't know, were like where they have gone in their life. I will occasionally be on Twitter and be like, "Oh, I've met you before."
It's
and you were at that party.
That party cast a wide net.
It really did. It's pretty wild. But yeah. Okay. Well, Mariam, where can people find you on the internet? Do you have any work you want to share?
Oh boy. If you're still in academia and want to talk about my papers, that sounds cool. We could do that. I'm on Twitter sometimes at Mariam Not Miriam. That's probably it. I don't think I want anyone else going anywhere else.
You got a personal webpage?
It's probably notmiriam.com, but it probably hasn't been updated in a while. I'm getting my brand. It's taken me a long time, Cameron, but I'm finally getting my branding together.
And your brand is, I'm not this person.
Correct.
I'm in fact some other person.
I'm not this name that everyone thinks my name is. And you're still going to get it wrong. So that's fine.
Great. All right. That's the end of the episode. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.